Hello, and welcome back to Pentiment. I know it's been a minute, and by that I mean like 2+ weeks since an episode of Pentiment has gone up. It honestly might be even closer to 3 weeks. I really can't remember. There's been a lot of stuff going on in my life, both from a gaming perspective and just personal stuff. I finished up the Victoria 3 United States series, and then in the interim period, that was about a week and a half ago for me when I finished that up, and it went up on YouTube. I acquired Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I've been having a ton of fun with, off camera. I'm not doing a YouTube series or streaming regularly. I might stream pieces of it here and there. But the game is not very well optimized, and I also don't have like bleeding edge hardware to begin with. So I think my computer would actually explode if I tried to record that game for significant amounts of time, although I have been able to mitigate a lot of those problems by some workarounds that people have suggested. Although, anyway, we're not here to talk about Marvel's Midnight Suns. We're here to talk about Pentiment. The reason I say all this, though, is to explain it's been a long time, and I'm going to keep it a stack. I don't remember what the hell was going on in this game. I remember, obviously, the Baron died, and we incidentally got Lucky killed or executed, which was not my intention. I really wanted it to be Prior Ferenc, but the Archdeacon / Prince Bishop of Freising / the guy who was delegated by him to oversee the stuff did not see it that way. They executed Lucky. Now we're back here like 7 years later or something like that, some indeterminate amount of years later, as a master artist with our apprentice, whose name I have definitely forgotten. And the first major thing we came across was Otto leading like a proletariat uprising here in the town square, and I believe that's where we left off. And I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I did not like review my journal or anything before I started recording or watched the last episode, like even the last like 60 seconds of the last episode. Let's see, I remember that this had the most convoluted controls in the world. I'm already mad about it. I ran into Otto Zimmer. I'm assuming the most recent one is the newest development. I ran into Otto Zimmerman and Martin Bauer and Martin, I have this like crackpot theory that it's not actually Martin, because he wasn't allergic to the flowers in the meadow, even though he used to be, and he was acting really weird and he looked completely different. So I don't think it's him, but there's really not there's been no hints of that in the game. That's just me making that up, I think. Having a discussion in the meadow, Martin returned from his adventures a changed man. Otto told me to come to the commons later. I'll head there after I talk to Klaus. Okay, so yeah, so that was the first one. So it actually is not in the order. It's in descending order, I guess, yeah. I ran into Clara and Ava in the commons. Clara invited us to spend time with the family over supper. I should head there when I'm ready. Okay, yeah, so we're gonna go see the Gertners, or whatever their name is. I would like to talk to Andreas, though. Andreas, you're back in Tassing. That's not how I do that. Just for a few days, I wanted to pay my respects for Brother Piero. Yes. Oh yes, Brother Piero. What a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. Yeah, we are back here, by the way, specifically to pay our respects to Brother Piero. And we were kind of kicked out of the Abbey when we were found in the graveyard. But now, if I recall, we've been invited back because Father... What's his name? Greg? That's not right. Why do I think it's Greg? What is his name? Father Greneau. He wants us to buy some of his books, even though he hates us because they're broke bitches. So we're gonna go up there at some point. He was a sweet old man. I talked to him sometimes on my breaks up at the Abbey. I'm surprised Prior Ferenc didn't give you an earful. Oh, didn't you hear? Ferenc isn't Prior anymore. Oh, interesting. Is it because he's a murderer? Now, this isn't gossip. Why is it in green? I don't think I've ever seen a green highlight. Okay, there's nothing... Yeah, I don't... That's weird. Just honest truth. After the abbot found out about Ferenc's black arts, he removed the poor man from the position. I tried to warn you guys. Matthew's prior now. Still strict, but quieter about it. And Matthew, we caught in a in flagrante, if you will, with another brother in the Abbey when we were in the library late at night, the night before the trial. I don't remember the brother he was with. I think it was like Reginald or something. I don't remember. But, yeah. But we talked to them. And so Matthew knows we know their secret, and we like came to an agreement that, you know, you don't tell people what I'm doing down here in the library, and I won't tell people what y'all are up to. He has a reserved Swiss temperament. I take it over Fearing's outbursts. Matthew has always struck me as quite pious, so maybe it's a change for the best. I'll go with the flavor here, because we have our experience in Basel. You'll get no disagreement from me. Still, even if the prior is easier to get along with, the abbot's gone from bad to worse. That's hard to imagine, but also easy to believe. Oh, are you in with the peasants' interests? Well, of course. Grenot's been running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Motherfuckers. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there. Not anymore. How far are you going to take this? Well, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not leading anything. Or the thing. But I trust in Otto, and the peasants do too. Otto's a good man. I agree with that. The whole town knows it. Even Linhart, which is the miller, I believe, though he wouldn't admit it. Say, Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? After you left here to return to Nuremberg, I assume you married that girl of yours, Sabine? You remember her name 7 years later after I, like, briefly offhandedly mentioned her without ever having met her myself? It's pretty impressive. I did. Marriage is a legal requirement for becoming a recognized master craftsman. I'm not gonna... That makes it sound like I got married just because of that. I'm gonna say, yeah. I hope the married life has treated you well. I still have not found anyone. I believe, if I remember correctly, that we said we don't have any kids. Which is a bit odd after 7 years and 1525 or whatever it is right now. I fear it's never going to happen. Really? Not a single person has caught your eye? Well, when I was in Innsbruck a few years ago, I saw a real pretty girl at the market selling painted pots. I think about her sometimes. Maybe more than as Christian. Andreas, you naughty boy. Hold on, you need to go back to Innsbruck and find that pretty girl. What? Really? You're older than me, and you're not married. Go find her. That's how it should be. Life is too short to spend dreaming about the loves you could have had. You think Tyrolean men are better than Bavarians? I don't see what that has to do with anything. Obviously, Innsbruck is in Tyrol, and Tassing is in Bavaria. But, I don't think that's related to him not being with a woman. I'm just gonna say life's too short, man. You seem to feel strongly about this, Andreas. But it sounds foolish, juvenile, you might say. Maybe, but it feels right. Well, if I ever have the chance to get back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. Hee hee. There's something to look forward to. Oh yeah, there's something to look forward to after that. I thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration. A pleasure. A bientôt, Andreas. Did my game crash? Okay, we are back. The game froze. I don't know what's going on. Ever since late October, when I started playing Victoria 3, my computer has been acting super weird. I've had... Between Victoria 3 and Midnight Suns, I've had the worst performance I've ever had from any video games, both of those. This computer is like a little over 6 years old. I made it in 2016. I've had no issues. I did have a RAM stick fail, but you know, I replaced that and everything's been fine. But Victoria 3 and Midnight Suns have run so poorly, I feel like it's just poisoned my entire computer. I know that's not really how that works, but I don't know what's going on. I'm very annoyed because the freezing and the crashing, like outside of games, nothing happens. So, you know, I don't know if it's like a heating issue, although, you know, like I said, it's been working fine for years, and it showed no signs of overheating, so I don't know why that would start now. But it's quite frustrating. Anyway, until then, I keep pushing escape because in Midnight Suns you push escape to skip dialogue. But in this game you push E. We need to go the other way to get to the Gertners, but I'm just going to walk around for a little bit. What I don't want, though, is to get suckered into eating dinner with other people. There's Anna. I remember you when you were a wee child. God bless you, Andreas. I'm thankful you returned to Tassing after so long. We prayed so fondly for you after you left. Thank you, Brett. I've kept Tassing in my prayers as well. That's very kind of you. Well, I'm not going to be an asshole. I'll just say thanks. You've been in mine as well. Though it doesn't seem to have done much good. Ah, that's right. You were at Otto's speech earlier. Yes, Tassing's peasants are struggling, and now even we townsfolk are pinched by the abbot's new restrictions. I worry about my husband. He's getting too involved with the whole business. What Gurno is doing in Tassing is wrong, and Otto is standing up to him. You disagree with Ulrich? You're right to be worried. Otto's protests look like the start of a revolt. No, I didn't mean to push that! No! I meant to go up one. Oh well. Oh, my God, prevent such a thing from happening here. I love my husband, but sometimes I worry that he focuses too intently on the details. He does not see that he may be both prudent and Christian. There's a blue highlight. I don't know if that's an update or what, but in the entirety of part 1, I never saw anything other than red, as far as I can remember. I pray that I am not acting selfishly, but the abbot's taxes have affected us too. What about Anna's future? Ulrich has been offering credit to Peter for years, which I've accepted, but now? We can only bake so much bread a week before we go hungry ourselves. Can you talk to him, Andreas? Of course, Gret, but I can't promise you I'll change his mind. God bless you, Andreas. That's all I ask. Let's talk to Anna. Hello, Master Andreas. That's it? We were BFFs 7 years ago? That's all you have to say to me? You probably don't even really remember. And of course, my fave, Bertolt, or whatever her name was, is fucking dead. It's the saddest thing I've ever heard. This looks quite different. The rat house construction is going smoothly. I wonder if they'll finish it before winter. I already forgot what a rat house is. A community. It's like a town. This is the asshole doctor. Yes, I did it again. Oh, Andreas Mahler. How unexpected. I'm very busy at the moment. Another time... Yeah, why don't you go fuck yourself? Sorry. I just really hate this dude. This dude and the Miller, they're my two least favorite characters. I want to punch him in the face. Wait, who is... This was not a house we could enter before. Balthazar, yeah, you are a new person. Salutations. You must be that wonderful artist, no? Master Andreas Mahler, yes? I suppose. Who are you? Of course, forgive me. Balthazar Isenkopf. At your service, but call me Balthas, please. Isenkopf. Is that... I mean, it sounds simultaneously like super German and not German at all to me. But I suppose it is. A pleasure, Balthas. Have you been in Tassing long? Oh, just a few seasons. My cart broke down and I found the place charming, so I decided to stay. I enjoy the quiet, but I must say, I do miss the company of other intellectuals. Understandable. Usually that good Dr. Stoltz and I whittle the hours away in the evenings. So naturally, when I heard a well-known artist had returned, I was beside myself. I'm always pleased to meet a like-minded individual. What do you do? I'm an inventor of sorts. Really? What do you make? A Casper, that's his name. All sorts of things, young man. Mechanical clocks of all sizes, metal mice that skitter about, even light without flame. Truly impressive. Thank you, Andreas. I knew a fellow artist such as yourself would appreciate my work. Ah, well, I'd best get back to it. You know how it is for us few called to a higher art. Good luck. A bientôt. Alright, I think we're just about done making the rounds here. I don't... Did we go by the meadow already? I can't remember. Oh, there's Luck. Ooh, I bet she is not going to be happy to see me. Andreas, what are you doing here? I just wanted to check in, see how you're doing. How do you think? I lost my husband because of you. Again, I dispute your wording. I don't think it was because of me. The Archdeacon made the ruling, not me. Bah, still lying to yourself, are you? Then get out. I don't want to talk about this. And don't come back. I mean, I'll respect your wishes, but also, who the hell is this? Oh, this is Otilla. Why are you here? You're that artist who came here a few years ago, around the time of the murder. True. I came to pay my respects. One of the monks? I'm not too fond of the Holy Brothers, or Sisters, a lot of them. I mean, fair. Are you related to Agnes? Go back far enough, and I suppose so, but no, not really. Around the time you got here... Around the time you got her husband killed, I lost my home. So we never really found out much information with Otilla. I don't know if that was a shortcoming of myself or the game, where there just wasn't as much information available. But she was like a prime suspect early on, because she cursed the Baron as he arrived in town. Apparently her husband had a big disagreement with him, and I think she maybe like blames the Baron for her husband's death or something. And we found like a bloody cane in her house. Or I don't remember if it was bloody, but I think it was. It was her husband's after the murder. But then I went back to her house. I never found anything else out about her. So I feel like she's maybe the thing we failed at the most. That bastard abbot took it from me. Agnes took me in so we could help each other. We are sisters in widowed misery. I didn't get Lucky killed. I mean, I don't want to say any of these things. I'll just say this sounds like a wonderful home. It was fine until you arrived. Alright, well, I'll see you later. Alright, you old hags. Go wallow in your misery. I want to go to the meadow. Por favor. I'm sure I already did this on my my trip up here, but I do not remember. And now that we can go down and see Martin Bauer. Is that Paul? Oh my god, he's huge. I don't think we have been in here. Hello, Master Mahler. Hello, Paul. Meet Casper, my assistant. Paul, you should remember me. I encourage you to be an artist. I expect to see some work here. Do you work with Master Mahler? Have you done real art? I guess. I've been doing sketches of Tassin while we're here. All art created from the artist's heart is real art, Paul. You don't need fancy paints or canvases to be an artist. You think so? Sure. How's your art going? Shh. Not where Dad can hear. We're still doing this shit, huh? I'll beat his ass right now. Alright. How's the art going? Haha. I've been practicing a lot more. Klaus even showed me a big book full of prints. He said they use a technique called woodcutting. Have you ever done woodcutting, Master Mahler? I did some while in Krakow. The woodcuts take ages to create, but can be reused, like Klaus's printing press. That's amazing. I wish Dad would change his mind about art. Maybe one day, Paul. You never know. I hope so. I should get back to helping my dad. See you later, Master Mahler. See you, Casper. I'll be in tow. You know I gotta pet my boy Staub, the best dog in the game. Still looking for that elusive fifth animal somewhere. Nice to see Staub is still kicking, because he clearly was an adult when we saw him last time. And I can't imagine dogs were living that long in 1525 southern Germany. Andreas, welcome back to Tassing. Hello, Linhart. I'm just gonna say Linhart. You look well. Not stuck with the Gertners again, looking like that, are you? The Gertners are lovely people, Linhart. I didn't want to burden them, as I'll only be here a few days. Whatever you say, you piece of shit. He has a damn gun! That thing looks a little advanced for 1525. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Whatever you say, you have such a curious fascination with the peasants. Probably because you don't have to deal with them as often as the rest of us. Anyway, you should come by sometime. I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. Good day, Andreas. Good day. No. You know I gotta talk to Elsa. That's it? Come on. We haven't talked in 7 years. You were my favorite of all the wives in town. This sounds weird, but like I just thought she had like the most interesting conversation. Anything going on down here? Still the same. I swear nothing ever changes over here. Okay, well now let's go the long way, I don't know if we've pet you. The cats I'm less familiar with. They all kind of look the same. Actually, no, let's go into the woods. I was gonna say let's go, to Martin Bower and them, which we're gonna do at some point, but I just, you know, I want to, since it's been 7 years, or whatever, I would like to look as much around as possible. The waterfall must flow down from the snowmelt. Yeah. Remember when we found these kids playing over here? Including Berthold, who's dead. The gravestone Lucky left flowers at. 2 innocents. Yeah, so I believe what we determined was... The probable answer is that Lucky had an affair? And a kid? And somehow they died and he blamed the Baron? When Father knows new restrictions, or with his new restrictions, the townsfolk can't even gather sticks without a fee. That's pretty fucked up. We haven't talked to Smokey. We've only talked to him the one time, even in part 1. Hello, Master Mauler, you're looking well. Thank you, Smokey. How are you? I'm well enough, I guess. Veslav went his way a few years ago, which I suppose was bound to happen. Yeah, that was the other guy who was here. We only had the one conversation with him as well. I miss the company sometimes, but now there's no one to stop me from my gossip. No one to tell it to, either. Have I missed much? The things I could tell you since you left Tassing. We'd be here till Kingdom Come. Oh? I did see another Imperial Reichspost, private mail service run by the Thurn and Taxis family and approved by the Holy Roman Empire. Courier arrived from the Abbey a few days ago. Brother Guy dropped the bag once. It looked heavy. The Abbey must be doing better than the Abbot is letting on. I've heard they're struggling. Curious, isn't it? The couriers arrive once or twice a month. Very curious. Doesn't help that the Abbot has tightened restrictions so closely in St. John's Eve, too. Or so closely to St. John's. The townsfolk get up to all sorts of mischief. What sort of mischief? I'd wager John and Kat will find some corner to play in again. Or Johann. It's practically tradition at this point. Veronica and Brigitte might go out for a midnight dip by the waterfall too. I believe we saw them doing that last time. They've been swimming over there for years. Now everyone's getting clever, trying to stay out of the Abbot's eye. Rightly so, he's an ass. I didn't see you in the town commons during Otto's speech. Aren't you standing with the peasants? Well, their cause doesn't really affect me, does it? I'm as worried as anyone about soldiers running through here, but the new taxes and restrictions don't bother me. I understand why they're upset, but I've been doing fine out here with less than they have. Nothing will change for me if they get their way. I see. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. I mean, solidarity would be nice, but also, you know, if soldiers showing up is going to ruin your livelihood, then understandable. Have a nice day. Thanks for stopping by. Until later. A biento. No, I don't want to speak to him. Got a nice little whippoorwill going. Brother Voislav used time in most of the Abbot's cooking, maybe because it grows so easily. Alright, finally, we're on our way to Johann. What just happened? Oh, I got an alert I've never gotten from the Xbox app. I did get an achievement. Convince Andreas to find his sweetheart. That was a bit delayed, but probably because the game was too busy shitting itself while that was going on. Hey, cat. Whoa, I also got one for petting 5 animals. Okay, that cat, not this cat, but the other cat, must have been the mysterious 5th animal. Okay, Andreas Mahler? Little Annie? Hello, cat. Well, would you look at that? You are back. I don't know why I skipped through that so fast. And look at you. You've done well for yourself. And who's this? Cat, please meet Casper, my apprentice. Hello. He's got the posture of an artist, that's for sure. Good, strong face, though. I do? What brings you back to Tassing, Andreas? Just passing through on the way back to Nuremberg. That's not true. I mean, it is true, but I'm specifically passing through to see Brother Piero. How have you been, cat? I saw Martin earlier. I must say I was surprised to see him. That's right, he disappeared when you were last in town. France passed a few winters ago, and then Wolf. Brigitte and I nearly lost the farm and our mines. Yeah, okay, we did know that Wolf died, but I don't think I knew that France passed. Martin returned shortly after, and he's proven to be a changed man, a good man, because he's not the same guy! He saved us from destitution. I've been wondering where Wolf was. I'm so sorry, cat. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. There's nothing to say, is there? He was a good boy. A sweet, good little boy. The stars dimmed when he passed. But that was years ago. I try not to dwell on it. To be strong for Brigitte and to find solace in the knowledge she is with God now. I mean, I would say, to me, it seems odd that, you know, Wolf and Berholt, or whatever her name was, are both died as kids. But I suppose in the 1520s, infant mortality and child mortality were remarkably high. I mean, at least by today's standards. So yeah, it would make sense. Just sad. Times may be hard in Tassing right now, but God truly does answer our prayers. I'm glad you and your family are well, Cat, despite everything. Thank you, Andreas. It truly is good to see you again, even in the midst of such terrible times. I'll be in too. Hey, Martin. If that is your name. Andreas, good to see you again. I'm surprised you'd say that. Your parting words to me back then were hardly kind. I believe they were eat shit and then also eat shit. Were they? It's been so long I don't remember. Yeah, because you're not Martin! You piece! You told me to eat shit. Oh, God, that's bad. I was such a little shit. Ha ha. Yeah, ha ha. Ha ha ha. Well, sorry for being such an asshole back then. Seems like you've learned a lot. Quite a lot. 7 years is a long time for a young man, especially one going through what I was. It's true. I still don't know how old you are, because you were married and had a kid, but also this is 1520s Holy Roman Empire, so it's possible that you were like 16. So I guess you would be in your early to mid-20s now? What happened to you, anyway? Oh, right. You know, I stole some of the Baron's things. I didn't make it far with them. I tried to sell them in Walgau, and I got robbed. Serves me right, I guess. Luckily, they didn't find the coins I was carrying. The money carried me around Bavaria for another month and a half. Then I started stealing. I grew bigger and more confident over time and became a highwayman. You're lucky you didn't get killed. And that's what made me quit in the end. I had a partner for the last year of my adventures. We tried to rob some Italians. We thought they were merchants traveling under the banner of St. George, a 2nd century Praetorian guard and patron saint of England. He is most well known for his legendary victory against a dragon. Of course. But they were soldiers guarding money from the Bank of St. George in Genoa. Exactly. I learned that later. My partner didn't survive the encounter. I was wounded and alone in the wilderness. I thought of my father, my mother, Brigitte. I realized I couldn't remember Wolf's face anymore. I had to come back and take up the responsibilities I left behind. It's good that you did. You may be right. Mom and Brigitte couldn't run the farm after Dad died. Maybe it's for the best that he wasn't here when I got back. It's all in the past now. Just need to look forward. That's a good attitude. I'll talk to you later, Martin. Alright, I think I'm convinced that that's the real Martin now. which is kind of sad because I really wanted my insane theory to be true, but it didn't make any damn sense, and I knew that. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Brita. How are you? As well as anyone can be in Tassing right now. Looks like things are going well for you. Martin returned after all. Yes, the winter without him was excruciating. Especially after what happened to Dad. I lost little Wolf, and Kat was worried that she'd lost the farm after France died. So was Wolf Brigitte and Martin's kid? I guess he was. I thought it was Kat's kid, but... Kat is Martin's mom, right? So I guess she was Wolf's grandmother. But then Martin returned, and now he's provided well for us ever since. Despite the tightening restrictions, we've gotten by. I'm thankful. It's wonderful to hear. I'm happy. But I'm also really sorry to hear about Wolf. Thank you. I try not to think about it. Nod regretfully. Kat wants to talk about him all the time, you know. Any night there's clear skies, she looks up and asks if I ever wonder how he is up there. That must be excruciating. Yes, it is. Looks like tear has like smudged the ink or something. I'm sorry, Andreas. I can't talk about this anymore. My mistake. It's been good to see you again, but I should be going. Until later. Until then. I think we had just missed a like inner monologue opportunity there. I answered too quickly. This is Otilla's old house. I guess we'll never know if there was more to be found there. It's a creepy looking scarecrow. And we're still not back to the Gertens yet. Hetty. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Hans. Hey, Andreas. Heard rumor you were back. I do not remember you at all. Were you a kid? I don't... Meet Casper, my apprentice. Hello. Hello. Are you from Nuremberg like Andreas? I'm from Salzburg. Is that very far from here? Not too far, I think. A few days to the east on horseback. I've never been outside of Tassing. Or ridden a horse. I'm not going to call it a shithole. I would like to say, hey, you know, if you get the opportunity, go explore the world, but sure. I guess. Some of the men in town say it would be better if the Abbey weren't around. Then you'd have to contend with the Lord. That's hardly better. They might be right about that. What do you think? I don't know. Could be nice to have a change. Be careful what you wish for. Change does not come peacefully in the Empire. I guess we'll see. Until then. Hello, Johann. Andreas Mahler. Didn't expect to ever see you back in Tassing. You look like you've done well for yourself. Thanks, and how have you been? Things went well for me, or well for a while after you left. Widow Kemperin lost her land, and the abbot let us work it. I think that's Otillo, right? My brother's heart gave out not long after, but then Martin came back to help work at land. Okay, so France and Johann are brothers. That makes sense. Even so, it's been hard to keep up with the abbot's demands, the taxes, and everything else. It sounds like a lot of people are upset with the abbot these days. Yeah. They have good reason to be. I know you didn't get on well with the man, either. Father Matthias never let things get this bad. Anyway, good to see you, Andreas, even if you are just passing through. A bientôt. And finally, here we go to the Gertners. The goat of goats, the kings of kings. Alright, I guess they're all inside. Hello, Clara. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down for supper. Care to join? I want to walk around a bit more. I'll be back soon, yeah. I want to talk to some people. Hello, Andreas. That's all you have to say? Big Jorg, my guy? Dap me up, brother. That's disappointing. I feel like Ursula should be bigger. Paul and Anna look huge. Ursula looks like... I mean, I guess she was probably the youngest, other than Wolf. She was like a very old infant or like a super young toddler. Like, she was able to walk around, but she couldn't talk. She couldn't have been more than like... I would guess like 1.5 to 2 years old at the most. So now she would be like 8 or 9. I guess that's about right. But she just looks a little too small for my liking compared to Paul and Anna. Hello. Hello, Ursula. Do you remember me? No. Should I? That's so sad. But also, I've been totally real. It's me, Andreas. I've been a friend of your family for ages. I suppose you wouldn't recognize me. I'm not the poor artist your parents boarded. No, you were very young when I was last in Tasling. I boarded in your parents' house. You used to poke me in the foot with the stick to wake me up. I did? You did. I stayed in the room upstairs. I kind of remember that. Oh, please don't tell me you're sick and dying. I think you told me a story once. I did. Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They said you went away for more training. What was that like? Well, I was in Krakow. I learned a new printing technique. No, not about the art, Andreas. About your travels. Alright, alright. The city's market square is almost bigger than Tassin, and always full of merchants from all over the continent. I saw a cave where a dragon lived. Hell yeah. What? Really? Yes, under a hill the locals called Vavel. When the dragon was alive, it was so hungry it demanded 3 cattle to eat every day. Or what? Tough. Please don't die. That would be very sad. Or it would eat it would eat 3 cattle's worth of people. Eventually, the king got tired of this and came up with a scheme. They fed the dragon a cattle skin filled with sulfur. Ooh, what's sulfur? A stone that burns. They set a small fire in the heart of the sulfur. After the dragon ate it, the fire spread and burned the dragon from the inside. But it's gone now, right? Yes, of course. I couldn't have visited its cave if it were still alive, could I? Oh, right. Andreas, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you know the stories about Perkta and the Wild Hunt? Okay, so we learned a little bit about Perkta before. That's the pagan god that Peter, who looks like he's still alive somehow, was kicking. And then the Wild Hunt, in German folklore, is a supernatural cavalcade of spirits and fiends which may cause destruction of portent, war, and other catastrophe if not adequately appeased. The Wild Hunt is often led by legendary figures such as Perkta or the Devil. I suppose that's a lot of the inspiration for the Witcher lore, and hence the Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and all that stuff. A little. I didn't learn about them until I lived here. Of course, I lived in Switzerland for a while. They believe in Perkta too. They call her Dame Hulda, where I stayed, in Basel. Why? Are they bad? Bad how? Well, my grandpa tells me things about Perkta and spirits and charms. And the old woman, Otilla, she talks about them too, and says these words that I don't understand. She told me they're part of the old ways, or something. So why do you think they're bad? Well, my dad says that I shouldn't listen to any of it. He says it's nonsense and that Father Thomas would be mad. He said he only tolerates it with old people because they're stuck in their ways. I don't want to get in trouble, but Grandpa says if I don't learn the old ways, they'll just be forgotten. So are they bad? No, they're not bad. You should learn what you can while you can. Really? Embrace the old ways. Told the story of the Basil Basilisk. Told the story of the Vavel Dragon. Okay, so that's the story we told when she was a kid, was the Basil Basilisk. Yes, it's important for you to carry on the stories and knowledge of your ancestors. Oh, that makes sense. Thanks, Andreas. Bye-bye, Ursula. Excuse me, where's Ava? Who the hell is... Okay, Veronica is the girl that we saw swimming with Brigitte. Hello, Peter. But yeah, where's Ava? Eh? Oh, it's you, that artist from a few years ago. Yes, Andreas Mahler. I'm surprised you remember me. I'm surprised you're alive, man. Everyone seems to think my mind is going, but it's still sharp as ever. Andreas makes nails, you know. Good man. What? Are you staying with my family again? No, I'm staying at the Golden Hand. Ah, those misers charge us just as much as the pilgrims for a drink, but won't support my son in his cause. That new abbot must have gotten to them. The bastard. Why do you hate the abbot so much? Everything went to shit after Father Matthias died. That man, God rest his soul, never increased taxes. He might have asked for a tithe in harder winters, but we were happy to help the abbey then. We could take from the forest as we needed. Brother Florian used to help us in our illness. Oh, please tell me Florian's not gone. Let us follow in the ways of our forefathers. A true Christian, that old abbot. And then, Father Grenot promised he would keep everything, between the abbey and us peasants the same. And we were foolish enough to believe him. At first, he refused to allow Florian to come down anymore. Taxes got higher, he stopped allowing us to pay in goods and livestock. Now he only takes coin, as though we can come by enough of that in a year to pay our rents alone. The bastard doesn't give a damn about us, not how Father Matthias did. Father Grenot's been an ass longer than I thought. Heh! You should talk to my son. You should help him stop that bastard. I should go. Alright. Hello, Andreas. Good to see you back in town. Hello, Veronica. How have you been? Oh, you know, pulled every which way. Mom's been a cow about when I'll give her grandchildren. As if I'm not doing enough work already. I don't remember who you're married to. Oh, okay, apparently you weren't married, so that makes sense. It's a good idea to set yourselves up for the future, Veronica. You shouldn't rush something. So, are you married to, like, Big Jorg or something? But also, isn't Ursula Big Jorg's kid? So, I don't know. Oh yeah, I guess you wouldn't know. Big Jorg and I were married 2 springs back. Okay. Congratulations to you both. Thank you. Now Mom's nagging me about when we'll have kids. You shouldn't rush something as important as children. Considering that's the position my guy has apparently taken. That's what I keep telling her. Maybe you should talk to her, Andreas. If it comes from someone as successful as you, maybe she'll pay attention. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all prepping for the festival. I'll leave you to it then. See you, Andreas. Alright, it's dinner time. I don't know where Ava is. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down to supper. Care to join us? It would be my pleasure. We're 43 minutes in. We had that little hiccup, so after this meal, we will end this episode. It'll just be a long one. But I think we have avoided going so long that I'm going to have to split this into 2 episodes. It's truly a blessing to have everyone back together again, if only briefly. Keep an eye on that boy of yours, Andreas. See that he minds how much he takes. Young boys eat too goddamn much. Peter, stop that. Andreas is our guest. Why don't you lead us in grace? Fine. Bless us, O Lord, in these gifts, your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Oh, these your gifts, not these gifts, your gifts. I was like, why say gifts twice? We pray again for our beloved Christine, gone now these many years. Who the hell is Christine? Please help me protect my family in these difficult times. Through Christ our Lord, amen. Amen. Wait, is Eva the one that married Otto? I thought that was Clara, but maybe I just got them backwards. Master Andreas, why were we the only ones with bread? They're being polite. The Gertners can't afford a lot of bread. I don't know if... Are we saying this, like, out loud? Why are we talking about this? Andreas, it's so good to have you at the table again. And with another guest. Is this young man your assistant? Casper, yes. He's my apprentice. Oh, that would explain why I saw him writing in that little journal. I remember you did the same thing when you lived here. It's true, it's true. Cheese? Let's go with the bread first. You still draw in your journal, Andreas? I've been trying to spend more time on the land. It's hard to be in touch with God's splendor in a city like Nuremberg. Yeah, sure. Mom said you know a lot about the proper names for birds and trees and things. Is everyone here fucking dying? Should I be here? How nice that you have time. And we toil all day, and that despicable abbot is starving us all while he sips on his sacramental fucking wine. Lay off him, Dad. He's only just got here. I mean, I understand where he's coming from, but also, yeah, I should not be the subject of your ire. It seems you've fallen on hard times. And you felt the need to point it out, Mahler? Well, okay, I figured that was better than saying, well, how are things going? It's pretty obvious. The Lord is testing us with another hard season, I'm afraid. That's one way to say it. Been miserable as shit all around. Maybe you should be resting, Grandpa. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it sitting at my own goddamn table. The whole family's been ill, Andreas. Peter, his father, and Ursula with an AUG. And me, well... Clara lost a child in childbed a year ago now. Do you have any idea what the cause might have been? Andreas. Well, okay. I never know how to handle these things, because I've never had to have a discussion like this in real life, obviously. Or thankfully. I shouldn't say obviously. It's alright, Veronica. Agnes suggested it might have been a fright I was given during the flood. I see this special little emblem next to a dialogue option. I have to click it. It's my lizard brain. She was nearly swept away in the flood. Then the child came early. Agnes tried to tried her best to save him, but he had a deformity of the skull and didn't live long. It was monstrous. Well, that's not very nice to say. Don't think about it. Just keep the conversation going. You're already thinking about it. Please leave me alone just for a while. Surely the child's with the Lord now. The Lord doesn't seem to look our way any longer. That's why it's time for us to take matters into our own hands. We're eating, not at the table. Do you think? He's right. Please, can we not talk about this now? This is quite the... I feel bad. I feel like I've ruined their dinner. Jorg here was married while you were away, Andreas? Yes, I'd heard. You and Veronica make a good match, Jorg. Thanks. Jorg has been good to me. There aren't many other options in Tassie anyway. Well, that's quite the ringing endorsement of your husband. Threw in a couple springs, but I'm still not used to being married. Congratulations, Jorg. I'm happy for you. Thanks, Andreas. It's been one blessing in a dark season. With children soon to come, I hope. Ha 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 ha. What? I don't get it. Cough. Do you? Oh, forget it, Ursula. What have you been up to, Andreas? Foreign patrons are fussy, and I spent a fortune trying to keep... No, I'm not talking about money. Oh, Nuremberg is miserable. I'm painting a commission, but patrons are paying to be added, so it takes ages to finish. Well, I've been so busy with Casper's apprenticeship, I never have time to myself. What should I say? My life seems so far from theirs now. Okay, well, this is not very helpful. I can't think of anything. Nothing but my miserable little problems. I think you're rude if you don't say something. Well, okay, I'll go with the last option. Better not have any children, then. I do my best to be helpful. Ursula, maybe you should excuse yourself and rest. You're sick. But Mom, I'm still hungry. Here, Ursula, you can have mine. It's not fair that nobody else gets any bread besides Master Andreas and me. Stop! Ursula, give it back to him. I'm not going to have people in this town saying we can't feed our goddamn guests. Well, clearly you can and did, and we just voluntarily gave it up. Or at least he did. I ate my shit. Besides, we all have work to get back to, don't we? Good. Well, that was kind of awkward. Time to get back to it, Andreas. We'll see you and your boy later. Alone? Fuck off, dude. You're rich as hell. Just give them some money. Ah, that's so cringe, but also like they might need it. Well, I just want to give them money. If I could help them, I don't want to offend them. Oh god, I'm gonna do it just because I think it might make them upset, but if I can help them, I would like to. I really wish he wasn't alone, though. Peter. God fucking damn it, Andreas. Dad. My debts are between me and the abbot, you hear me? Okay, I meant no offense, Peter. We'll go now. Yeah, that was about what I expected. I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I was like, if just on the 1% chance that it would help them, I would never forgive myself if I didn't at least try. But again, why say alone? Like, why not just say like, hey, first of all, why do it in public? Why I wish you could do it like privately. You know, pull Peter and Clara off to the side or whatever, and say like, hey, I have some money. If you need money, just let me know. Let's see if I can remember how the hell to get back to the... Isn't the inn, like... right by the church over here, right? Oh. Oh, it's this girl. Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to end the episode. Okay, we're gonna end the episode right here. Yeah, okay, sorry. 50 minutes, although it might be like a minute or two shorter for you, depending on how long that brief little hiccup is that I'm going to cut out here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I apologize again for the huge gap between episodes, but now that I have some more time, I'm hoping we can buzz right through this and either every day or every other day like we were doing before and get to the end of this by Christmas, ideally. That would be lovely. So, yeah, if you're enjoying this series, please leave a like and subscribe and comment. Let me know that you're still hanging out after this big break, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.